You use AI every day. ChatGPT, Netflix, Spotify, Google Maps. And you've probably noticed something strange. The more you use it, the more you want to. You open ChatGPT for one quick question, and suddenly 40 minutes are gone. That's not random, and it's not a discipline problem. There's a specific brain system being activated, and once you understand it, this whole experience makes a lot more sense.
By the end of this video, you'll understand the exact brain mechanism AI systems activate, why that makes them hard to put down, and one simple shift that changes your relationship with them. No fear, no tech bashing, just neuroscience, explained clearly. In a university experiment, two groups were asked to solve difficult puzzles. One group could use an AI assistant for hints. The other had to solve everything alone. The AI group finished faster, but a week later, they remembered far less about how they solved the problems. They got the answers, but something in their learning loop didn't fully activate.
You know the feeling. You type a question into AI, and it just understands. Not vaguely, not partially, precisely. It responds in a way that feels tailored, almost conversationally aware. It doesn't get impatient, it doesn't misread your tone. And then you ask another question, and another. Sometimes it feels productive, sometimes it feels comforting. Sometimes it just feels smooth, like friction disappeared. Or maybe it's not ChatGPT for you. Maybe it's your feed, the playlist that knows your mood, the recommendation that lands exactly when you needed distraction. There's something deeply satisfying about being predicted accurately. And when something predicts you well, your brain pays attention. You may have assumed the pull to keep going was a willpower issue. It's not. Here's what's happening under the surface. Your brain runs on prediction. Every second, it forecasts what will happen next. When predictions are correct, nothing special happens. When predictions are wrong in a bad way, you feel stress. But when predictions are wrong in a good way, slightly better than expected, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine isn't the pleasure chemical, it's the anticipation chemical. It spikes when your brain detects the possibility of a rewarding outcome. This creates what neuroscientists call a prediction-reward loop. Predict, check the outcome, adjust, predict again. Now, here's where AI fits in. AI systems are extraordinarily good at producing responses that are almost predictable, but not fully. Just uncertain enough to activate anticipation, just relevant enough to feel rewarding. Every time you send a prompt and wait for the response, your brain enters that anticipatory state. What will it say? Will this be better than I expected? That tiny uncertainty triggers dopamine, and dopamine motivates repetition.
Here's what changed in modern life. Your dopamine prediction system evolved in a slow environment. Rewards were rare, effortful, spread out over time. Now imagine compressing dozens of unpredictable rewards into a single hour. Every AI response, every autoplay suggestion, every notification, every "you might also like." Each one is a micro-prediction. Each one is a micro-reward. And unlike real-world challenges, there's no natural stopping point. AI doesn't get tired. It doesn't close the conversation. It doesn't require recovery time. The loop can run indefinitely. This isn't a conspiracy, it's optimization. AI systems are trained to maximize engagement, and engagement happens when your prediction-reward loop activates repeatedly. So that's what changed around you. Now here's what it's doing inside you. When the loop runs fast and often, your brain recalibrates. This is called habituation. The more frequently dopamine spikes, the higher the baseline becomes. What used to feel satisfying
Reading slowly, walking without stimulation, thinking deeply can start to feel underwhelming, not because those activities changed, because your threshold did. You may notice that good enough feels harder to accept. You regenerate responses more often. You struggle to sit with one idea. After long digital sessions, you feel strangely restless. It's that odd combination of stimulation and emptiness. Nothing dramatic happens, no warning alarms. The system just quietly shifts. And here's what most people miss. You don't need to quit AI. You don't need to reject modern tools. You need awareness. Next time you feel the urge to regenerate a response, open the app again, or check one more suggestion, pause for 3 seconds. Ask yourself, am I solving something, or am I feeding the loop? That tiny gap interrupts automatic behavior, and interruption restores choice. Here's the part that matters most. AI feels addictive because it aligns perfectly with how your brain is built. It predicts you, it responds to you, it mirrors your patterns, and your brain is wired to reward accurate prediction, especially when it feels personal. At a neurochemical level, being understood activates many of the same reward pathways as social connection. When a response feels precise and relevant, your brain registers it as meaningful. For most of human history, that kind of understanding came from people. It required effort, it had limits, it had natural endings. AI removes the limits. It simulates understanding continuously. Your brain doesn't easily distinguish between biological and artificial sources at the level of reward signaling. It responds to pattern accuracy. That's why the pull feels real. And here's the important part. The same mechanism that makes AI feel addictive is also what makes it powerful. It can accelerate learning, clarify thinking, expand creativity. The loop isn't the enemy. Unconscious looping is.
So when you open AI and feel that subtle pull to keep going, remember, your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. Follow the prediction reward trail. The system isn't broken, it's just running fast. Understanding that difference changes everything. You're not inside a trap, you're inside a loop. And now you know how it works. If you're curious about how your brain adapts to the modern world and how to use that knowledge intentionally, you're in the right place. Stay curious. See you next time. Science Simplified, where we make sense of the world by starting with the brain.